Another one. All right. I am Paul Acevedo from Windows Central. Tonight we are streaming two ID at Xbox games for Xbox One. 60-second Shooter Prime first, and then Nutjitsu. We're doing both for half an hour. These are smaller scale games. I did not want to play either one for an entire hour, but half an hour works just fine, and these are affordable games. Press menu button. Yes, you actually have to press the menu button. A doesn't work. A little bit of a hassle there, Jamie. I will choose myself. So here we go. You only actually see the title when you're starting the game up. Like, you don't see the title on the menu. I, I personally would prefer to see it on the menu. Um, Zero says my volume is too low. What do you guys think? Is it my voice that's too quiet? Because I've got it on the usual setting. Huh. Let's figure that out right before we start. Yes, exactly. Like, I will always press A over menu if given a choice, if allowed. Thank you, Sir Suppenai. Voice. Oh. Okay, we have differing opinions. I'm going to turn the voice up just a smidge. Hopefully that won't overpower the game audio too much. So, 60-second Shooter Prime is the first arena-based twin-stick shooter on Xbox One. Technically, Halo Spartan Assault is also a twin-stick shooter, and that came out first. But they are different kinds of games, even though they have the same input style. You can see the leaderboards over on the left. I'm beating Cobra Commander, who is also known as Shipwreck on Cheap Ass Gamer. He still has a respectable score, though. And then I've got some people above me who are doing even better. And yeah, I think if I look at the full leaderboard, a whole lot of my friends have this. Yeah, that's a pretty good number. There's people even higher up there. Chubby Ninja, he's also a cheap-ass gamer. And the list goes way down. Fellow Windows Central writer KidJ55 is failing to represent. Probably played the game once and then quit. Hey, Mr. Gore, good to see you. No, I was just getting through the introductions. So let's look at the options here. You have a choice of visual styles. You can just toggle between them as you want, or leave it on shuffle. These unlock as you play. Like right at first, you don't really have much that you can choose from, but as you get farther along, you'll unlock stuff. I will leave it on shuffle. I wish there was an option for the backgrounds to change as you progress through the level, because that would be more dynamic and exciting. You can choose your starting level all the way up to 5. The level goes up to at least 20, and basically the higher the level, the faster the enemies are and stuff like that, and the more of them. You want to start on the highest level you can, achievement-wise. There's 2 modes to play, 60 and Infinite. Hello, iDidge26, good to see you. And Gomez is here, great. Howdy, Gomez. One of those numbers is not like the other. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the stream last week. Last week we played 2 Telltale games. Then Tuesday, earlier this week, we played a couple of Japanese games, Puyo Puyo Tetris and Onigiri. Yeah, those were really great. And now here we are playing a couple of smaller scale indie games. Shouldn't have picked that up yet. Yeah, one of the things with me is I don't remember what the items do. So, like, if I had a better understanding of what they did, I probably, whoops, died already. Really, really easy to die because, like, the shots and everything real tiny. There's Invincible. And yeah, we're on a different visual theme now. You can see the colors have changed. Your default gun is such a pea shooter in this. I wish you can pick up, like, rapid fire, at least. But, like, I like a good spread shot, or a nice, like, wave beam. Oops. Boy, and I am doing terrible tonight. Did you see that? It killed me right at the spawn. Yeah, ow. And by the way, if you saw our Japanese game stream, I promised that we would publish a guide to playing Onigiri on US Xbox Ones, and that guide is live now on Windows Central. And man, I put like 3 days of work into it, and I think it turned out really well. So please give it a shot, even if you don't plan to play Onigiri. It would be great if you check it out. I've been getting these little pauses, these little freezes here and there. That didn't happen the very first time I played. I don't know if it's related to having the game on my external drive or what. But yeah, I'm playing for 60 seconds. That's the idea. Survive the whole 60 seconds, get a nice score, see what you can do. You gotta work your way towards the power-ups and these portals, which increase the level. Ah! So please ignore the pauses. I don't think those will happen to most players. There we go, double fire. So that's a little better. I got this enemy following me. I think I have to hit one of these things to kill it. No, it's just following me everywhere. It's not cool. Alright, I survived the whole 60 seconds, and then I blew up anyway. Oh great, thank you, Evil Ernie. Evil Ernie used our guide. That is excellent. I'm gonna keep doing 60 seconds for a while and then switch over to Infinite and see if that changes things much. Yeah, you want to go through those portals as soon as you can because they're what increases the level. And one of the achievements is for getting to level 20 within 60 seconds. Very hard to do. There's a lot of guides out there on how to do it, but I can't handle it. Basically, this game is a little bit too hard for me. And only part of it is because your shots are so freaking tiny. Too tiny. What is that red thing following me? Ow. Hello, Surreal Sonicus. Yes? Okay. I'm feeling slightly embarrassed at my poor performance. It's like Halo all over again, right? No, actually I did a little better in Halo, even though I struggled at times. Aye. For whatever reason, Geometry Wars 3 is a lot easier. You know, they're both the same genre, and you can bet that this game was at least partially inspired by Geometry Wars. I'm sure that genre kind of existed. Geometry Wars is like asteroid-like, you know, asteroids, which probably predates some of our readers being born. But, whoa, that went pretty well. Quad fire. Now that's more like it. Now I can fire behind me. Only for a little while, though. Ah, those freezes are being really annoying. I'll have to ask the developer about that. Alright, I survived another 60 seconds. Yes, good evening, Evil Vess. Hello, Tand Jami, or however you say that. So one of the cool things about 60-second Shooter Prime is that it's only $5. It's one of that little red thing is just a really dumb enemy, like an enemy that you can't kill, like, or enemies that spawn on top of you at the beginning of the game. Neither one of those is cool. Anyway, yeah, it's only a $5 game, so it's the single most affordable downloadable game that's not free-to-play, as far as I know. You have a couple of free-to-play options. There's Warframe and then Onigiri, which we talked about earlier. My cat wants attention. He's not going to get it. Look at that little key shot. Oops. Invincible, that's more like it. And multiplier. Bring it on. Yeah, and... Ooh. Survived again. Yeah, Zero, I was talking about actual Xbox One games. Price-wise, there aren't any others that are below $5 that are free. 1001 Spikes, it's funny how that game is only $5 on 360 and yet it's $15 on Xbox One, right? But they did add a lot of improvements. achievements, obviously. And 1001 Spikes is one of my favorite downloadable games for Xbox One. Sad thing is we cannot build a stream around it for the weekend because unfortunately the publisher is Japanese and the idea of contests doesn't work for them. They actually said no to our request, which makes me very sad. Like, it's a game that I like so much, I would really like to play it on the stream anyway. But on the other hand, you don't reward people for shooting you down either. So I don't know. Speaking of people saying yes to the stream though, Capcom said yes to streaming Strider. So we're streaming Strider next week, and I'm really excited about that because Strider is a great game. And I was surprised that they said yes because they can be a little hard to get an answer from, being one of the larger publishers. People are down on Capcom for a variety of reasons, mainly because some of the Resident Evil games lately have been terrible. We're talking about Resident Evil 6. It's so horrible. Zero and I played through the entire game online together, and it was a lot of fun playing with a friend, but the actual game is like pure torture, especially the story, which is literally the dumbest thing humanity has ever written. And yeah, there are a lot of people out there who can't forgive them for kind of running that series into the ground, so to speak. But on the other hand, they do have that Resident Evil remake coming for both Xbox One and 360. And there's Resident Evil Revelations 2, that's another game a lot of us are looking forward to. And both of those games are likely to get a better fan reaction than Resident Evil 6 did, which was just a hot mess. Kind of the same thing as Final Fantasy 13, where they had 1 billion jillion people working on it and no clear vision for the game, so it just didn't work out right. Does anybody remember how to use missiles? I have missiles, but I don't know how to actually use them. Oh. It's right trigger. I could have sworn I pressed it earlier and it didn't fire one. There's a nice big explosion. Look at all the pretty fireworks. Look at it. Come on. I think there's some kind of achievement for keeping an explosion going for a really long time. But, yeah, I haven't been able to get about 4 of these achievements. Invincible. Yeah, I'm getting nowhere near level 20. I'm just never going to be good enough for that achievement, reaching level 20 before the time runs out. But I survived. Woo, look at that! Not a very good score, though. By the way, tonight's prizes are only for Xbox One codes because both of these games are exclusive to Xbox One. 60-second Shooter appeared on PlayStation, I don't know, some kind of PlayStation system. But it was not the same game. It was like a, slightly less developed version. And also, apparently, they're not able to generate codes for it anymore after a certain point. So otherwise, we still would have liked to have given those out. And then Jitsu first appeared on Windows 8 as a non-Xbox game, and then Ninja Beast Studios upgraded it to work with Xbox One and make it a full Xbox game. Sad thing is they didn't change very much else about it. We'll talk about that when we're streaming it, but it's very clearly a Windows 8 tablet game. But it does have achievements. Let's kill some fools. Oh. Yeah, the enemies, they spawn too close to you, and yeah, they can just run into you before you have time to react. That's a little bit annoying. 8th gen exclusive, Gomez asks. Yeah, I mean, technically they're both Xbox One exclusive because they're just not the same. Like, there's no PlayStation 4 version of 60-second Shooter Prime. And I don't think he has announced one. This game was developed by one single guy, as far as I know. So obviously it's a lot less complex and robust than Geometry Wars 3. However, you have to understand it's just one guy's game, you know, like he put a lot of his time into the game to make it what it is. And it is a really fun game. Like if I had to pick between Geometry Wars 3 and this, obviously Geometry Wars 3 is the way to go, no contest, because it's such a bigger game. But this one is a lot cheaper, so like maybe you're on a budget, then you could afford this for $5 compared to Geometry Wars for $15, you know? And you're supporting an indie developer. Somebody who lives or dies by how well his games sell. But also, there's no reason to say you can only play one or the other. You can play both of these. If it's your genre, then maybe you can't get enough Geometry Wars style games. Perhaps you even played Asteroids Deluxe back in the day. That's a Windows Phone game, you know? Here we go. Come on, get over there. So in Infinite Mode, it looks like there is still a timer, but I guess you can extend it by doing something. I forget. It's been a while since I played this. I played a little bit this morning in preparation, but... Oops. Yeah, I think if I had a choice, I'd make the enemy movement a little bit slower. I would make your shots a little bit bigger. And maybe... I don't know, that's about all that really needs to be changed. Yeah, the enemies just really bunch up on you, and the idea is that you have to get to a bomb and, you know, that boom thing and kill them all that way. But I think I would rather just have shots that can hold them off better. Here we go. Missile added. Yeah, I guess I need to remember to use my missiles. I keep forgetting. You can start a nice chain reaction. Oh, yeah. I think I could have avoided that, but he did basically spawn on top of me. Let's change the music. There are 2 music tracks. Yes, you can go straight to the portals once they appear. You've got the little green arrow. Once they appear, it always points to them. So you can just run over to them. And it's actually a good idea to do so. For a while I was playing this more seriously and I was a lot better at it, as you can tell by my high scores. It's just been a long time. There, time bonus. That's what extends your timer. Had to fire a missile right there. Ah! Sorry I'm not better at this. I think as far as selling the game, it would look more impressive if you saw somebody who had maybe better reaction time and crap. But it is what it is. Part of the fun of watching me play is that you're just watching a regular guy who's not exceptionally good at most games. I used to be really, really good at Bomberman. Oh, I lasted for 26 seconds. Uninspiring, you might say. What's the cross do? Let's find out. Multiplier. Oh. I like multiples. 3 times 3. That's one of my favorites. I just fired a missile. Another thing would be nice if maybe your shots were a different color than yourself, a little bit more distinctive, because they and the explosions are all the same color. Just kind of blends in. Oh. Time bonus. Flare. One more time bonus. We got all the time in the world. And then I'm killed by something I didn't even see. Oops. Hey, Mr. Tato. Well, we certainly missed you during the stream, but that's alright. You know, guys, we stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. That's a regular thing. You can set your watch to it. I only had to cancel... Well, 1 week I took a week off, and another week I was sick, so we canceled. Otherwise, it's every Saturday. And if we canceled, then we would let you know here on the channel. You would show up, and you would see a different image that would represent that it had been canceled. But besides our Saturday streams, we do try to work in some midweek streams now and then. Don't currently have anything planned for next week, but something could come up. And the midweek streams, it comes down to whether or not we can secure prizes, because, you know, like, there's only so many developers we can even ask for games, and so we like to save that for the for the Saturday streams. But then during the midweek, you know, like, sometimes my company, Mobile Nations, will spring for prizes. But we can't do that all the time. And on Tuesday, we gave out Titan 1s, which is a really cool gaming accessory. And the people who made the Titan 1 offered to do that, so that was a really cool contest for us. And the other prizes we actually bought. Let's see. Yeah, it would be cool if you could pick a color for your ship, because white is boring. Zero says the man is not the man. I hope he's not talking about me. We've got 8 more minutes of 60-second Shooter Prime, and then we're going to switch over to Nut Jitsu, which is a game I can at least survive a little better on. And it's meant to be played for longer than 60 seconds in the first place, so it is a much different kind of game. Although both games are kind of old school. Why did that enemy spawn on me? Why should that never happen? Anyway. Yeah, Nut Jitsu is sort of a, like, New Age Pac-Man clone. And this, obviously, you know, derives from the Asteroid series. Although it plays more like Geometry Wars, of course. Boom. Double fire, that's more like it. Quad fire. That's a lot of fire. Boom. Big explosions. It does look pretty when all the chain reactions go off. You just try to keep that going as long as you can. Octofire. Doesn't actually look like 8 shots to me, but I guess it's just going really fast, and that's what makes it Octo. Ow. I only reached 47% of my high score. That's an interesting stat, though. Look at the... Oh, I see what Zero was saying. The man is not the man. Look at that. He played for 5 seconds and then died. This is what it looks like. Come on, guys, like, in games with prominent leaderboard support, you at least want to make one good run. You know, one effort. Mr. Tato joins us even though it's 2 a.m. where he lives. And that's really nice. You know, as a bigger website, we have an international audience, and so it's not just Americans tuning into the stream. And we really do appreciate it if you join us at what may be an inopportune time for you. A lot of our regulars like to, you know, stay up late or wake up early to catch a stream, and that's really cool of them. Like, I do my best to make it worthwhile for you guys. And besides me playing the games, obviously, we just have a good chat thing going. That's the best thing about our stream, I would say, is that we have a really cool crowd. Lots of cool regulars, and tonight we're joined by some new cool people from Cheap Ass Gamer and such. And that's, you know, gonna make for an even better experience. Whoa. Overwhelmed. Alright, what's this diamond thing do? Oh, that's the boom. Isn't there a movie called Here Comes the Boom that you would never want to watch in your life? I think there is. It stars Kevin James. That's how you can know not to watch a movie, is if Kevin James is in it. Here we go. Like, I don't know, somebody told me good things about Paul Blart Mall Cop, and so I watched it. I actually bought it for like, I don't know, $9. And yeah, I couldn't stand it. It was terrible. And he's just in a lot of Adam Sandler movies, and Adam Sandler is one of the worst filmmakers in the business, so those movies tend to be pretty bad, if you ask me. Movies are like my number 2 interest after games. But it's sad because Adam Sandler obviously has made some great movies like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Those were a long time ago though, weren't they? But I hear he turns in a good performance in Chris Rock's latest movie. That's nice. I mean, he can still act. But does he choose to do it? Because actually most Adam Sandler movies seem to be like basically a paid vacation for him and his friends. They go to some kind of resort type destination and they take a lot of sponsorships. And they all just have a good time with each other even though they don't have a good script or anything to say. That's not how you make a movie, not even a comedy. Three minutes left on the game. This is the game I play if I'm working out on the exercise bike, Swizzlers says. Wow, can you really play a game while you're riding an exercise bike? That would make it a lot less boring. Yeah, so again, let's just talk about 60-second Shooter Prime a little more. Only costs $5, very fair price for what you get. It's a smaller scale game and you can play it in nice short increments. I mean, the fact that it has a mode that only lasts 60 seconds, and you'll probably die before the 60 seconds are even up. That makes it a really good game to squeeze into a busy schedule. It's kind of more of a mobile game lengthwise, you know, but then you wouldn't have a nice precision controller like you get with the Xbox One. And definitely, most of us would prefer precision controls if we can have them in a shooter, you know it. Although, some twin-stick shooters can play very well on the touchscreen. Not all, but, I mean, like Halo Spartan Assault, for instance, plays very poorly because they did a bad job on the controls. And some games have great mobile controls, even though they're a game like this. After I die this time, we'll go ahead and switch over to the other game. Coming up next is Nut Jitsu. We're going to play it for half an hour. Tonight's stream is 1 hour long. Just a nice, convenient stream. Next weekend, we're going to be playing Strider, probably also just for 1 hour, but we'll see. And yeah, we've announced our schedule for the next 3 weeks. Coming up next weekend, obviously Strider, then the weekend after that is Defense Grid 2, and then the weekend after that will be Chariot. Chariot was a Games with Gold title for Xbox One, or is it Games for Gold? I forget how they refer to it on Xbox One. Anyway, it was a game that some people got for free, but maybe not everybody had Xbox Live Gold, or maybe you just didn't get an Xbox One until after that. But also, it's on other platforms, and other platforms did not get it for free. So with all three of those games I just mentioned, Strider, Defense Grid 2, and Chariot, we're going to be giving out both Xbox One copies. I say both. I meant Xbox One copies, PlayStation 4, and Steam. So that will be a good opportunity to get those games if you haven't already gotten them. And you know we have a good chance of winning here. Like, we continue to grow the stream, but still, with the size of our crowd, you always have a pretty decent chance of winning. Like, never worse than 1 in 10 unless we're streaming like a big retail game. And those are my kind of odds, you know? Big chain reaction. I actually need to hurry up and die. At least I eventually ended up representing. So, like, you can't even see your missile when you fire it out. It's just another little dot among many. Ah. That was 60 Second